this episode, I was able to spend time with Francisca with Breathe, Connect, Thrive. She is a practitioner of many things, but primarily breathwork and tarot, as well as some other healing services. I recommend to anyone seeking exploration and breathwork and tarot or spiritual guidance to reach out to her. And she's such a beautiful spirit and highly connected in an obviously beautiful place. She also has many items for purchase for spiritual exploration, like tarot cards, crystals, as well as a space for small group classes featuring yin yoga and breathwork.
Oh my gosh! I love it. So, I see that you've done breathwork before, Hope. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience?
Mostly on my own, just going through YouTube and like trying different things. Also with yoga, all the breath work that is involved in that. And then a couple of classes that I've taken, experimented with some deeper, heavier stuff when I did an ice bath. That was part of how to focus the mind.
Right. Right. And I love that you've done and explored like different types of breathing practices. And as we talked before, I've done, yogic breathing, pranayama, which is more like breath control. This type of breathing is called Conscious Connected Breathwork. And what I love about this breathwork is that it helps you kind of get out of your mind into the body, and as you may know, kind of into your emotions. And the way that I do or teach this type of breath work is I like people to submit songs to me, and it can be anything. And I love your playlist. We have some similar musical tastes. So one of the things that I love about breath work is that, and adding music to breath work is that one song can mean something to me, but it can mean something totally different to you. But when we're in breath work, it can even elevate that musical experience a bit more because you're in your body and you just never know what type of emotions may come up. So even though you may have submitted a song that makes you feel grateful, it might make you feel emotional. It might make you feel motivated.
It was so hard.
Right?
I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know. And I'm like, am I choosing the right emotion for the right song? And I guess because I'm a musician too, that was just like, what does it make me feel?
Right. And what I love about this breathwork practice is that, the songs may mean something different when we're in the practice. So you don't have to worry about that part of it. What I like to do in a breathwork session is kind of shift the songs around and just to kind of check in to see where my intuition is guiding me for you. But even so, what I've been doing lately is throughout a breathwork practice, I'll shift the songs because I feel like I get an intuitive hit to maybe move the songs around. I've also added some filler songs in there, a start song, a stop song for the active breathing portion, and then an end song. And again, we may just shift that around throughout the breathwork practice. So you'll notice you have some oracle cards here. You've also got some essential oils, an eye pillow with a clean sleeve, and a towel. So what I'd like to do with the breathwork practice is to have you pull like maybe 1 or 2 cards before and then 1 or 2 cards after. But first I want to kind of talk about what you can expect in this breathwork practice. Everybody's experience is different, and each time you do breathwork, it's going to be a different thing. You can put the same music on, same time, and breathe, but you may have a different experience because I feel like we're different every day, right?
Absolutely.
And so I'll just talk about the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual sensations that may or may not happen in your session.
Okay.
So let's talk about the physical, because I feel like that's the part that most people experience more, I guess, readily in a breathwork session. And so you've experienced a dry mouth, right? You've experienced a little bit of the tremors.
Yeah.
Anything else, physical sensations?
Just the like uncontrollable like movements, I guess. I don't really know how to explain that.
Yeah, no, that's okay. And that happens because we're manipulating the breath.
A little bit of lightheadedness.
Okay,
too.
Yeah. So anytime we're manipulating the breath, that's actually breath work, right? And you already know that. But our breath has so many functions inside of our body. Not only is it there to regulate our nervous system, regulate our blood pressure, our heart rate, but it's also there to regulate our body temperature too. And it also helps us produce sound, right? And so our lungs are really important for us to make noise. And so the dry mouth is the first thing that most people experience. Shaking, a little bit of shaking, maybe some energy running through the body, maybe the sensation of being lightheaded, floating, falling, maybe even parts of the body feeling heavy, right? Something that's called tetany can sometimes happen in a breathwork session. So if you've ever gotten it, it's this cramping in the hands or the feet. And so the biological reason for that is because we're letting lots of oxygen into the body, but we're also letting go of lots of carbon dioxide. So what happens is the calcium bonds to the oxygen inside of our extremities. So usually hands, feet, legs, maybe even shoulders, throat, face. But the spiritual reason could be dependent on where it happens in the body. Most notably, it happens in the hands. What are you holding on to? What are you controlling? What do you feel like you can't let go of? What do you feel like you're trying to grab into your life or get into your life? If it happens in the legs, that could mean something else. Where do you feel like you're scared to move forward? Where do you feel stuck in your life? If it happens in the shoulders, we can talk about that. That's where we carry our burdens, in the face and in the throat. And it may just happen in different parts of the body. And so we can always talk about that afterwards, because there's plenty of time for you to process. Hot or cold, sometimes people feel hot or cold. That's why I have lots of blankets here for you. So if you get cold, you can grab a blanket and go ahead and put it over you. You can tell me, and I'll gladly put the blanket over you. If you get hot, you can take off the blankets too. So those are the most notable things that people experience physically. The other thing, sometimes people yawn throughout a breathwork session. That may be because your parasympathetic nervous system is turning on, right? Then there's the mental aspect of it. Usually the first 8 to 12 minutes is the most difficult for people, where they're in their mind and thinking all these things, like all your to-do list, did I get everything done? Or maybe there's an idea that you have for something. How is this going to work out? Or why are you doing this? What did I get myself into? You may even think, why did she put the music in that order? That doesn't make sense. Or when am I going to feel the thing I'm supposed to feel in breath work? And again, that first 8 to 12 minutes is usually where our mind is thinking a lot. But on the flip side of that, there may be a shift in perspective. There may be some clarity. There may be downloads that you may experience. Sometimes people get breakthroughs on maybe a project that they're working on. They're like, oh, now I know how to do this thing. And so there's that aspect of it. Then there's the emotional. Sometimes people feel a variety of emotions throughout a breathwork practice, whether it's sadness, fear, anger, shame, guilt, frustration, annoyance, all the way to love, joy, peace, understanding, anything, any kind of emotion or feeling that you can imagine. You may or may not experience that in the practice. Then there's the spiritual aspect. And sometimes people experience like this feeling of like almost leaving their body. Sometimes people can get like a future view of what can happen in their lives.
After she explained the breath work, we did a tarot card reading to kind of see where I was at before starting the session.
Either cover yourself or for support for your legs, whatever feels right to you. And it's okay if you're not, but are you okay with me touching you?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me scoot some stuff over, that way you're comfortable. This underneath you. And just take a deep inhale in and release whatever energy you came in with on the exhale. So deep inhale in Exhale out. And just breathing in through the nose for right now, exhaling out through the mouth. Just grounding the body. And we'll start off really slow with one inhale in and one exhale out. Maybe inhaling in through the mouth, out through the mouth. So in through the mouth, out through the mouth. Calling in all of Hope's angels and guides. Calling in all of Hope's ancestors, spirit animals, masters of light, and loved ones, to draw a circle of protection around Hope. To inspire any messages that need to come through for Hope, any shifts in pattern, any clarity for Hope at this time. So inhale, release. Guide Hope throughout her breathwork session. May she breathe into her wholeness. May she feel grounded and release what no longer serves her. May she breathe in permission for her future self with every breath. So slowly start shifting to a double inhale. Know that you can't get this wrong. Trust the breath to guide you. Trust that whatever comes up is what's meant to come up. Know that every single bit of you is welcome here. There's nothing that's off limits. Just follow the breath. Breathing pattern that feels right to you. Trust the breath to guide you. See if you can allow yourself to really sit back, be the observer at the seat of your soul. As you maybe go a little bit deeper. Trust yourself. Follow the breath. Trust that whatever comes up is what's meant to come up. Every single bit of you is welcome here. That's okay. Let it all go.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, this was a very intense experience. I felt a lot of things happening in my body. As you noticed, my hands are moving, my feet keep moving. It was hard for me to keep up with the breath, and I was also very emotional. I had sensations of numbness going down my arms. I felt some spasming in the muscles around my neck. This was really an opportunity for me to come back into my body and release not only emotion but physical pain and a lot of things that I've been holding on to. Towards the end of this session, I started to tap into the more visual benefits of breath work. And this may be something that you can experience or not, just depends on how open you are. But I was guided in a way that really helped me move forward in some of the issues that I was dealing with. And see some really awesome pictures in my mind's eye. I felt connected with my higher spirit and my guides. And I'm really grateful for this experience.
Time and space to process if something came up and you want to talk about it?
There was definitely a lot to talk about. Francisca was very warm and kind. She also made me feel very safe within this space. This gave me the time to sort of come back into my reality before I had to leave and go back into my world. We did do one final reading at the end of the session, which kind of tied everything together. I want to thank Francisca for being who she is and opening her heart and sharing her talents with the world. I hope you guys get an opportunity to either speak or work with her in the future. If you like what you're seeing, please consider supporting my Patreon or sharing the podcast with someone who you know it can help. And until next time, be love and namaste. To continue the work that I do, your support is appreciated and needed. Find us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, as well as YouTube.
So I think that one of the things that I hear you saying is that, you do this work with other people, but it seems like you're not, even though you nurture yourself, like you're still like holding on to some stuff. Not that you're taking on their energy, but more like you also need to get nurtured yourself too. Like you need to also, get that somatic release, whether it's through touch, like a massage, or somehow to take care and nurture yourself too. And yes, when we do this kind of work,
I felt that the whole time in my body. Just like, let go, let go, let go.
Yeah, and that could have been this energy here too, especially it comes through like these last two fingers, right?
Yeah.
And so these are, in spiritual body language, this is like, because when we grab things, usually it's these, and these are kind of left out in the cold, right?
Yeah.
Right, and the physical thing could be, like maybe your hands are like this from,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was really odd because it was only specifically those two on each side.
Yeah, and I can't remember with the mudras what these last two fingers are.
I was thinking that.
And I'm just trying to figure that out, and I think that that's good homework for me to like send to you, because I studied the mudras. And I'm like, but there's so much in yoga that you forget, right? There's just like so many things that you could do just a class on mudras, right?
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what these two fingers mean. But in the spiritual body language, I feel like these are what gets left out because these don't grasp a lot.
Yeah.
And so these are almost like what's left over. What's left over for me. And also the inside part is a part that we keep to ourselves.
Yeah.
This is the part that we show to everybody else,
Yeah.
but this is the part that we keep to ourselves. This is also what helps us flex and move, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like there's a pivot going on in your life, and you're like, well, where do I move, and what's left for me too? And
Freedom through light. I'm sorry. That's what it was.
I love that.
Freedom through light.
I love that.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's
when you
good.
said that, I was like, that's what it is.
Yeah, because you're moving through the light.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no, like, I'm Virgo, so like the control thing. And so like you were talking about earlier with the vision, we have that vision and we always try to control so I'm like, I had these opportunities right now and I'm just like, let me just do the work and just see like.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that for you. Yeah. And then you said that you also felt, was it the left or the right side in the neck?
It was the right side.
Okay, here. And so this is where we carry our burdens, right? And this is also, I feel like, especially on the right side, this is our action-oriented, our masculine side, our doing, our active side, the fire side of us, right? And so where are you carrying the burdens in your life? Where are you carrying the burdens of having to do all the things, and like getting everything done, obviously.
Yeah. Not so bad anymore, but it's getting better, but I get it. It's,
right. And it's more like a letting go here, like releasing the burdens, like letting them go. And I feel like that's what that spasm could have been here too for you. But also kind of, I feel like there's also room for listening. Like listening to those messages from inside. And I feel like you're really great at listening to your intuition. And I also feel like there's also something that's pulling you to listen a little bit more, a little bit deeper, and to let those messages come through you. And I'll almost sit with them before you actually do them, because it feels like sometimes what they're saying is, they said don't say it because it's going to make you mad. But they said sometimes you like to get all the things done, and almost like there's not room and space for you too. And they said that you're getting better at it. Like you know when the message is for you.